So, तथा विद्यादिदोषवतः स्वभावप्राप्त इष्टानिष्टप्राप्तिपरिहारार्थिनः तदर्थान्येव नित्यानि इति युक्तं तं प्रतिविहितत्वात्. Veda prescribes the kamya karma for the one who wants things in the world. Understand? It prescribes kamya karma for the one who wants, for the one. For the one. Who wants material objects. For him, it gives, prescribes kamya karmas. Rituals are prescribed, desire-oriented rituals are prescribed for the one who wants material objects. Sometimes the material objects, you don't get despite your known effort. Therefore, the known effort is supplemented with the unknown religious effort. A religious effort, reinforces your mundane effort and get you the results. Simple. In the same manner, you have to grasp something. In the same manner, the one who wants mental purity, you see, that is also a wish. The one who wants mental purity for his benefit, the Veda prescribes Nitya Karma. Nitya Karma is prescribed to help the one who likes to have mental purity. But the only problem here is, beautiful difference to understand is, the one who has the desire for heaven, the one who has the desire, only he has the desire to heaven, not everybody is in need of going to heaven. Desire is not a universal need. Desire is subjective, whereas mental purity is universal need. Therefore, Veda prescribes Nitya Karma for everybody. You may be doing Kamya Karma, but along with the Kamya Karma, you will also be doing Nitya Karma. Nitya Karma is something that is universal. Everybody is prescribed. It gives a mandate. Let everybody perform Nitya Karma. Slowly, in many lives, or in some time or the other, your Kamya Karma will disappear. There will only be Nitya Karma. Your desires will be overwhelmed by your Nitya Karma, mental purity. Through Nitya Karma, you will grow out of desire. Your Nitya Karma done on a daily basis. Nitya Karma done on a daily basis. Nitya Karma done on a daily basis. Nitya Karma done on a daily basis will help you grow out of desire. Grow out of desire slowly. Therefore, desire is subjective. A given desire is subjective. A given desire is subjective. But the mental peace is not a subjective need, it is a universal need. Nobody can say, only you want mental peace, not me, he can't say. Only you want heaven, but I am not interested, you can say that. You may be interested in money, but not me. One can say that. You may be interested in children, but I am not interested. You may be interested in marriage, I am not. You may be interested in that object, I am not. Therefore, all individual desires are subjective, yes. But the love for happiness, that is universal, that is choiceless. What is universal is choiceless. In the same manner, the need for mental peace is not subjective, it is universal. Therefore, the need for nitya karma also is universal. Therefore, Veda prescribes nitya karma for who? Nitya karma for the one who is in need of mental peace, mental purity. Supposing he is already peaceful, he has grown out of even nitya karma. Nitya karma. You grow out of pratishuddha karma slowly, then you grow out of... In fact, you grow out of pratishuddha karma through kama karma. And you grow out of kama karma through the nitya karma, viveka. And slowly you become qualified for understanding the truth. Is it not? Therefore, thus, sir, neither kama karma is the answer, nor nitya karma is the answer. Even nitya karma is not the answer. Therefore, Vedanta is neither pratishiddha karma rupam, nor kamya karma rupam, nor is it nitya karma rupam. Vedanta is in the form of understanding the truth. It is not kriya rupam, it is not doing something. Okay. Therefore, Chaturmasya Pashubandhu Somanam Karmanam Rudaha Kamya Nityatva Vivekaha Asti Katrigate Nahi Swargadi Kamadoshena Kamartata. This particular point, I have to touch upon. There are certain karmas which are neither classified as kama karma nor classified as nitya karma. If you do them as for mental purity, they become nitya karma. If you do them for objects, then they become kama karma. Bas. Your sankalpa. Thus, Vedanta is not another karma rupam. What Purvapakshi wants to say, everything that is said in Karma Kanda as well as Vedanta, it should be karma rupam, kriya rupam. We say it is not kriya rupam. Vedanta is not kriya rupam. Slowly we are going to show even nitya karma is not really kriya rupam. It is more niyatam karma, it is niyatam. It's a niyam wala hai. It is more avoiding rather than doing. बाद में आएंगे ना परमात्मा याथात्म विज्ञानवतः क्षमा उपाय व्यतिरेकेण किंचित कर्मा विहितमुपलभ्यते. Up to that. For a person who is interested in knowing the truth, what is prescribed for him is only upashama. Upashama means withdrawing from all the disturbing actions and thoughts. Composing oneself is called upashama. You feel tempted for something and then you compose yourself. Slowly slowly that sense of temptation fizzles out. Attraction quietens. You want to take some nice sweet is there, but you are not supposed to take. Then you close your eyes. The first step you should. Do you know what is the first step in handling temptation? Keep your eyes away. Look away from the sweet. Yes, sangat sanjayate kama. I am telling you, this is so true. There are certain beautiful things, you should just use them to help yourself. Why not? Suppose you keep on looking at the sweet. Such nice. It is there on the table and you are looking at it. You will feel tempted. Therefore, if you should not be tempted for the sweets, what should you do, Ji? Don't look at it. Ask the person to take it away from the table. Dur. That's why distance helps you. Distance can help you fight a temptation. Now you see, it's such a nice thing, Bhagavan says here, for the one who wants to understand the truth, there is only one thing that is prescribed, that is upashama. Upashama means composing oneself from all the superstitions and all those things, with all the convictions that this will make me happy, that will make me happy, this will satisfy me, that will satisfy me. From these cravings one has to compose. Composing oneself is nothing but wisdom. Why? Because it is in the form of understanding. Nothing can give me. Nothing is going to help me. It only just gives a little thrill, a momentary sensation, a momentary pleasant sensation, like when you put some honey on the hand and then you eat, you take some honey. You see, put some honey on your tongue. For a few seconds it's so nice, wow. Afterwards again, it's gone. It is as momentary as it tastes glorious. Haji. It is as momentary as it is glorious. That is why human beings concentrate on the glory, not on the momentariness. We think about the glories of the pleasures, not on the. And the moment you think of their momentariness, you lose interest in it. Pakka. And if you want to lose interest faster, there is another step you take. Not only they are temporary, you have to pay a heavy price for them. Pain. You have to go through a lot of pain. The price that we have to pay for every pleasure is in terms of pain. Bah. So high spirituality, at least even after going through Grihastha-ashrama, one has to sit and really listen to the spiritual truth about life. One may live with ignorance, but one should not die with ignorance, I am telling you. You should not die with ignorance. You may live for a few years in ignorance of everything, but then life should culminate. At least the evening of life, you should concentrate on the spiritual reality about ourselves, the spiritual truth. The spiritual truth is every pleasure is. Therefore, is limited, plus the price that you have to pay for every pleasure is in terms of pain. You have to pay money for buying a pleasure. And to earn that money, you have to go through whatever you Bappa. catch the first bus to go to Karol Bagh and live and sit in the shop to make money till evening. And all the flies come and all the time we are doing this. What is all this? Pain. All the time. Knees are paining, sitting in the chair, but the customers, the buyers are coming. You have to go through all of it and have lunch at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so a lot of struggle. Therefore, what is it that really qualifies a person for self-knowledge? Composure. Collect this word. Composure is a very conveying term. Compose yourself. Don't dissipate yourself. Compose your attention with your... Composing is different from concentration. Concentration also is a vikshepa. Composure is always in the form of your attention being with yourself. That is composure. You are with yourself. You are not worrying about this or that, thinking about this temptation, this desire, this anxiety, that anxiety. Leave it and then be composed. Thus, upashama is the only thing that is prescribed for a student of Vedanta to understand Vedanta. Is upashama an action? Is upashama an action? Is composure an action? No. Composure is not an action. And what is nitya karma for? For composure. You may be taking water in your achamana in your hand and doing achamana and nitya karma, all those things you may be doing, but ultimately it is not an action for any result. It is only an effort to avoid. It is more it is an act of composing yourself. We may use the term an act of composing, but it is not an action. It's not an action. This act of being quiet, is it an action? It is not an action. Therefore here it says, Shama upaya vyatirekena, apart from shama, composure. Kinchit karma, not even a little karma. Vihitam upalabhyate. Vihitam, as prescribed, upalabhyate is seen. Nothing is seen to have been prescribed. No action is prescribed for a student of truth except composure. Composure, mental composure is not the goal of life. Mental composure is the means by which one can figure out the truth about oneself. That truth is something that is all comprehensive. That is the root of existence. Therefore, to figure out, to understand the all-comprehensive nature of one's being, you have to have composure. Now, I am asking you a question. People say, "Bada mushkil hai," वगैरह वगैरह. क्या मुश्किल? Is composure a too high a price to pay for the truth? If we have to understand the truth that is all comprehensive, to understand your status as all comprehensive being, for understanding that, mental composure, is it too, composing oneself, is it really too high a price? Is it too high a price? It's nothing. Renouncing anxieties, is it too high a price? Renouncing certain desires, is it too high a price? Renouncing wrong food, is it too high a price? Losing some weight, is it too high a price? Following discipline, is discipline too high a price? I don't think any price is too high for understanding the truth. Because understanding the truth about yourself solves the problem forever. It's like it is waking up from the illusion, ji. And what an illusion, my God, I am a mother. It is an illusion, it's a mother illusion. This is a mother illusion. I am a father is a father illusion. And the body is a physical illusion. Why? Because we are none of those things. Because when you fall asleep, what are you? If you can transcend the label of being a father, mother, body, etc., that means what? You are none of them. You are only silent being. That silence. I can give an example. When a person, there is a music player, some set. Bhimsen Joshi ka music is different. It is Bhimsen Joshi's music, Jasraj music, Muhammad Rafi's music, Lata Mangeshkar's music, etc., etc. Silence. Jasraj. I'm telling you, this is some wonder of wonders. Silence doesn't belong to. That is the truth. Similarly, when you transcend the label of being a father, mother, body, etc., you are only silent. You are absolute silence. Silence is not a part of creation, it is yourself. Therefore, for understanding that great being that we are, to understand that being, which price is too high? No price is too high. I don't think so. This is the truth. Before dying, one must at least listen to this once. No price is too high for understanding oneself. Renouncing everything is not too high a price. It's nothing. If somebody says, मैं तो सारी छोड़ के आया हूँ, कुछ भी नहीं, अच्छा है. As if really is big, he had done a big thing. I was doing a job, मेरा arrears को भी छोड़ के आया हूँ. क्या बड़ा arrears के छोड़ के आया. In fact, no renunciation is too big for knowing the truth. No discipline is too high a price. Then alone the ego comes down. A sannyasi becomes humble only when he understands nothing is too big. I have done a big thing, I have renounced everything, as if it is a big thing. Understanding truth is glorious. But in order to understand the truth, whatever you need to do, you do it. One doesn't have to gloat on it. One doesn't have to gloat on it. That's what I wanted to convey. There is no need to gloat on money also, there is no need to gloat on spiritual achievement also, there is no need to gloat on scholarship, there is no need to gloat on knowing the truth also. There is no need to gloat on, now let me put it technically. There is no need to gloat on telling a lie. Pratishiddha karma. There is no need to gloat on kami karma. There is no need to gloat on nitya karma. There is no need to gloat. When you do the nitya karma daily prayer, the what we call the tendency to gloat on gets resolved. Uska bhi upsham ho jata hai. You don't have to gloat on mental composure. Oh, I am mentally composed. You don't have to gloat on it. Because only that temper, that tendency to gloat on becomes composed, resolved, that is called composure. समझ में आ गया? Nor do you have to gloat on knowing the truth. Because when a person knows the truth, then he doesn't, there is nobody to gloat on. There is only silence. Therefore, Shama upaya vyatirekena kinchit karma vihitam upalabhyate. I am only talking about that one sentence, very beautiful sentence Bhashyakara says. Veda does not prescribe any ritual for you for understanding the truth. It only prescribes mental composure. It prescribes only composure as the precondition for understanding the truth. It doesn't prescribe any ritual. Karma nimitta devatadi sarva sadhana vijnana upamardena hi atmajnanam vidhiyate. Veda recommends self-knowledge. What does that self-knowledge do? Karma nimitta devatadi sarva sadhana vijnana upamardena, up to that, by way of falsifying the division. Self-knowledge falsifies the sense of division. Upamardena. In karma, there is a sense of division. I am the doer and this is the ritual and that is the devata and this is the mantra. These are all various details. There is a doer of the ritual, there is the done ritual, there is a recited mantra, there is a devata. These are all called the division. Karta, karma, karana, etc. These divisions. Karma nimitta devatadi sarva sadhana vijnana upamardena. By way of correcting this entire sense of division, atmajnanam vidhiyate, self-knowledge is prescribed. Vedanta recommends self-knowledge that corrects the entire sense of division. When the sense of division is corrected, then the division born limitation is gone. Where the division is not there, incompleteness. Division is not there, limitation is not there. Where the limitation is not there, incompleteness is not there. Where there is no incompleteness, struggle is not there. There is only shanti. Like when you fall asleep, there is no sense of division, therefore there is no feeling of incompleteness, there is no feeling of fear, there is only shanti. Falsification of the division is the job of self-knowledge. There are so many ways of putting it, Ji. Self-knowledge corrects the division. Self-knowledge corrects the error. Self-knowledge corrects the thought I am the form. Self-knowledge corrects the thought I am in time. Self-knowledge corrects the thought I am the body. Self-knowledge corrects the thought that I am limited. It all means the same. Self-knowledge corrects the Dvaitam. It all means the same. And except by correcting these things, there is no peace. Because peace we don't have to create. Peace is our nature. We have to only avoid the disturbance. And the disturbance is that error. You see? How do you become quiet, Ji? How do you become quiet? Do you create quietude or just avoid noise? But that is the truth. That is spirituality. In spirituality you don't do anything. In spirituality you only avoid. Avoid anger, avoid greed, avoid jealousy, avoid hatred, avoid anxiety, avoid disturbance, avoid temptation, avoid all that you need to avoid, avoid. And what remains is only truth. It is like, you see, close your mind to all that you can close it to, then all that remains is yourself peaceful. And then, so that whenever you are composed, you get an insight into your being. You cannot get that fantastic insight into your being, that you are the root, meaning your existence is not rooted in flesh. Our existence is not rooted in flesh. Our existence is not physical, physiological or mental. Our existence is purely conscious. That, I don't mind using this term, that transcends flesh and bone and breath and mind. And our existence is in the form of the light of the three states, etc. And therefore, that insight into your being, the first insight into your being, will inspire more into Vedanta. And that insight you get only when you become composed. When you are composed, your attention has to go back to yourself. When you restrain your attention from the objects, it has to go to the subject. When your attention is restrained from the objects, it has to go back to yourself, the subject. And when you are aware of yourself, you get an insight that you are not a man or woman or young or old, you are a conscious being. You are a being, you are a subject unlike everything else. Unlike everything else. You see, this universe cannot be aware of itself, whereas I am aware of the universe, plus I am aware of myself. It is something glorious. 1,000 times you say this, but still it is. You love to hear that. Therefore here Bhagavan says, Atmajnanam is enjoined, Atmajnanam is prescribed by Vedanta as the answer, and that Atmajnanam, the precondition for that Atmajnanam is no ritual, but it is only Upashama. 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 Pick up this term. Upashama. Composure. Upashama. You have, some temptation and you close your eyes and say, no, 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 no. That is called Upashama. Slowly, slowly. Everybody is born with their destiny. Let me not be unnecessarily worried. No. If you start worrying about another individual, I tell you, you are very unfortunate. I am telling you, this is something great, what I am telling. Because you can never It is only when my children are very happy, when my son is very happy, when my daughter is very happy, I will become happy. It doesn't work in life because they always have some problem and you become unhappy. They always have some problem. Let them live their life, Ji. You have your duty only until they are educated. Afterwards, let them manage. Let them rub it out. Keeping in view their form, you call him your son or daughter, etc. Minus the form. Where is the son? Where is the father? I don't mean that you should become indifferent or anything, but there is a boundary after which then you should think differently. Up to a point, you should care. You can even have anxiety about your children, up to a point. And then comes a point in life that I have to move ahead. Let them manage, I have to move ahead. Because I myself am going, जी मैं ही जा रहा हूँ दुनिया छोड़ के, उनके बारे में खास सोचने की टाइम है जी, really speaking. Where is the time? Let them handle themselves. That's called composure. The moment you analyze, think vivek. The moment you think, let them handle. I can't be protective of another individual. Everybody has to manage himself. Give him enough money and then withdraw. That's. Manage yourself. Even if you give a lot of money to your son or a daughter, it will not liberate you from worry. Why? Because the same money they can use it for making themselves more unhappy, and when you see them more unhappy, you become unhappy. The only answer is look after yourself, don't depend upon me. Manage yourself. Manage yourself. After saying that manage yourself and then silently don't worry. Again silently worrying, मैं क्या बोल दिया? You have to turn to Paramatma. You have to turn to yourself, please. From the world, withdraw your attention to yourself. Exactly like sleep, ji. How in order to go to sleep, you take your mind away from the world and then go back to yourself. In the waking state also, deliberately withdraw your attention back to yourself to understand. Travel back to yourself is the most blissful thing, understand. Travel back to yourself. You know, samsara is like really traveling in the world. कहीं इस होटल में रहा, उस होटल में रहा, यहाँ पर खाना ठीक नहीं. It is a struggle. You are enjoying, but also struggling. And the time comes to go back home. Go back home. And bringing your attention back to yourself is like coming back home. Yes. Travel back. First few years, travel, and after a certain point in life, travel back, come back to yourself. It is not some kind of a concept, please understand. Coming back to yourself is not some kind of a exercise or anything. It's not some kind of a belief. Because that's our need. It is necessary for us to come back to ourselves, number one. It is choiceless to come back to ourselves, number two. It is possible to come back to ourselves, number 3, and that self happens to be the truth. Therefore, life should be lived to come back to oneself. It is not a fashion. Spirituality is our need, not our fashion. Prayer is our need, not a fashion. आजकल की फैशन है लोग वेदांत पढ़ना. It's not a fashion. You may do it as a fashion, but Vedanta is not a fashion. If you study Vedanta as a fashion, he will get a Brahma Jnanam which is fashionable. He will get a fashionable Brahma Jnana, very fashionable. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks it will go out of fashion. Yes, fashionable Brahma Jnana. Out of which you will get a fashionable moksha. You will get fashionable happiness. Use your intelligence thoroughly. Everybody has intelligence. You should use it. Our existence is not something. We are not here for something. In fact, the whole creation we should use to come back to ourselves. We are not a means to something. We are a means to ourselves. Meaning we are the goal. Our existence is the goal. I don't live for air. I use air for myself. I don't live for the sun. I use the sun for myself. I don't live for food and money. I use them for myself. In fact, I don't live for the creation. I use the creation for myself. The self is never experienced as the means to something. It is always experienced as the goal. Bahut badi baat. There is no evidence of our existence being the means. There is no evidence of our existence being the means to something. There is only evidence of our existence being the goal, the fulfillment. And therefore, enjoy your existence as the goal. Look at yourself as the goal. Yes. I don't mind using the phrase, the truth, that is the be-all and end-all of everything. Yes. The timeless be-all and end-all of everything. The timeless presence of our being. These genders and labels, they are just nothing. They don't count. They don't count in your being. They have a nuisance value. They have a nuisance value. Yes. This gender has a nuisance value for the truth. The flesh has a nuisance value for the truth. It's an error. In fact, for the source of the whole creation, creation has only a nuisance value. What a mirage is a nuisance value. Therefore, Bhagavan says, please, don't fear Vedanta, that it is another ritual. Say, you don't have to do anything. Vedanta is not something, you have to follow. When you go to the temple, they ask for your gotra. Please tell me your gotra. Why? So that, they can do sankalpa. So and so name, so and so gotra, so and so father, etc., etc. Amuka nama, amuka putra, amukasya putraha, amuka gotrasya. All these things, amuka means palana, naam, palana, etc., etc. You have to do sankalpa. And there you say, I don't know gotra. It's too embarrassing to go to a temple and say, I don't know my gotra. But for coming to Vedanta, you don't have to feel embarrassed. Because nobody is going to ask you your gotra. Definitely not your janda. Why? Because a lot of people these days look, men look, women look also. And there are a lot of, the dress is common. I'm telling you this because somebody came to my place and he said, Mataji is coming from abroad, etc. And I said, maybe some Mataji, some religious Mataji. And he came and sat down. I was confused. Yeah, Mataji hai, koi just some. He was looking, he has the face of a man. And Mataji, and dressing like a man. That is okay, but at least looks wise you should look like a woman if you are a woman. Maybe I got men's qualities. पता नहीं जी आजकल की दुनिया में who cares जी? Who cares? Remember this, who cares? Whether a person is a man or a woman or something else, who cares? Conscious being doesn't have gender. Get out of all these things. Don't feel all those thoughts. Feel comfortable with all, because everything is the truth. Everything is the truth. Therefore, here Bhagavan says, what is prescribed for self-knowledge is only composure. Nacha upamardita kriyaka nacha upamardita kriyakaragadi vijnanasya karma pravritti rupapadyate. A person who has falsified the division is not going to again take interest in rituals. For knowing the truth, you don't require rituals. After knowing the truth also, you don't require rituals. You know, there are certain theories, Jeev. One person says you have rituals, upasana ritual becomes a kind of a condition for self-knowledge. Another person says, prasankhyanavadi, you should continue doing some kriya even after knowing. Action precedes knowledge and follows knowledge. One school says it precedes knowledge, another school says follows. That means what? It is both a precondition as well as it has to continue even after knowledge. Ritual should continue even after knowledge, etc. In answer to that, Bhashyakara says, sir, in order to perform a ritual, you have to have a sense of division. And in self-knowledge, the sense of division is falsified. That is, in sleep you transcend division, in knowledge you falsify it. Understand? In sleep you transcend them, in knowledge you falsify them. When you falsify them, you transcend them also. But when you transcend them in sleep, you don't falsify them, you come back again with the same sense of reality. Sleep is followed by division, but knowledge is not followed by ignorance. And I am telling you something very important. If there is something which you can transcend, it is also available for falsification. Wow. If you can transcend time in sleep, then right in the waking you can falsify it. If you can transcend the universe in sleep, then you can also falsify it. Transcending proves one point, that's not a part of you. What is not a part of you, that you can transcend. What is a part of you, you cannot transcend. You can't transcend a part of you. You can transcend which is not a part of you. And if I can transcend something, that means it proves it's not a part of me. When I understand it to be so, That is called falsification. Because I transcend it, therefore it is not a part of me. Because it is objectified, it's not a part of the objectifier. Because it is inert, it is not a part of the conscious. Because it is external, therefore it is not a part of the aparoksham, the subject. Like this, if you think, then it gets, slowly you strike an insight, you understand, my God, my being is different from the form. In this manner. And having falsified the division, does he come back to the rituals? That's why here Bhashyakara says, Nacha upamardita kriyakaraka vijnanasya karma pravrittihi upapadyate. Desire for rituals doesn't take place in the case of a person who has already falsified the division. Visishta kriya sadhanadi jnana purvakatvat kriya pravrittehe. Kriya pravritti, meaning the desire to perform rituals, is based on the division that I am different, Devata is different, ritual is different, mantra is different, the means is different, the goal is different. Like this, sense of division. Without that sense of division, there is no pravritti. For example, I will tell you an example. If I think, the space is out there, then I start moving there. The moment I discover space, for space I don't have to, the space is right here. I am already rooted in space. As an individual, I am in space. And the moment I discover that to meet space I don't have to travel, then do I travel? As long as I think space is out there, I travel. The moment I discover the space is not out there, right here, then no travel. Similarly, what I expect out of the rituals is already that happiness is already my nature. Or the sense of division is gone, then the pravritti is gone. There is no, just as there is no division between me and space here as an individual, जहाँ डिविजन नहीं है वहाँ पर प्रवृत्ति नहीं है. और क्या एग्जाम्पल दूं? As long as the 10th man thinks the 10th man is away, there is a pravritti. ढूंढ रहे हैं. That is called ढूंढना, that is called pravritti. कुछ करना, that is called pravritti. ढूंढ रहे हैं. As long as the 10th man thinks the 10th man is away, is ढूंढ रहे हैं. The moment he understands the 10th man is not away, he is non-separate from me, he is myself. I am the 10th man. Does he ढूंढो? Pravritti becomes impossible. Where there is no distance, search is not possible. If there is a sense of distance, if there is a sense of division, the sense that it is away makes me search. The understanding that it is not away puts an end to search. Pravritti khatam. Nahi deshagala janavichhinna asthula dvayadi brahma pratyaya dharinaha karma avasarosti. The last sentence. Another, that avasaraha. One is tenable, the other is necessary. It's very beautifully. Bhashyakara says, a person who understands himself, it's not logical that he will again go into the rituals. He doesn't have to. Not only that, it is not necessary for him. The one who has found, the one who has falsified the sense of division, therefore he is peaceful. For a peaceful person, there is no need for ritual. Without division, ritual is not possible. Without unhappiness, ritual is not necessary. When you are happy with yourself, in fact, desires don't stem from happiness. Desires stem from unhappiness. Desire stems from unhappiness. समझ में आ गया ना? Because happiness is never the means to something. Happiness is the goal. Very profound topic, Ji. Peace can never be the means to something. Peace is the goal of everything. Happiness is the goal of everything. Truth is the goal of everything. Subject is the goal of everything. You can't use peace to reach heaven. In fact, everybody wants to use heaven to reach peace. You don't use peace to make money. In fact, everybody uses money to reach peace. Peace is never the means to an end. Peace is an end in itself. Happiness is an end in itself. Fullness is an end in itself. Subject is an end in itself. Truth is an end in itself. God is the goal, not the means. You can't use God for making money. This is also another problem. You may use money to reach Bhagavan. Use money to understand God. Don't use God to make more and more. Bhagavan also starts wondering, is dunya ko sudharna? That is why for the last so many years Bhagavan hasn't come. Do you know why? उनको भी समझ में आ गया कि इन लोगों को सुधारना मेरा बस का नहीं है. He tried 10 times. एक बार, 2 बार, 3 बार. हम लोग तो 1 बार, 2 बार, 3 बार. भगवान ने सोचे चलो और कुछ बार. कूर्मा अवतारा, वराह अवतारा, ये अवतारा, वो अवतार, नरसिम्हा अवतारा, all avatars. He tried ultimately Rama अवतारा and Krishna अवतार. And Krishna अवतार में समझ गया because he was Purna अवतारा. Krishna अवतार is Purna अवतारा. Purna अवतारा means अक्कल बढ़ गया, समझ में आ गया मेरा बस का नहीं है. My God has not come now. For so many years Bhagavan has not come. Why? वो समझते हैं कि मेरा बस का नहीं है. Don't use God to make money. Use everything in God's creation to understand God. No statement can be more useful than this. Use every resource of yours to come back to yourself. Use every faculty to come back to yourself. Use all your resources to come back to yourself. Use resources for the truth. Don't use resources for temporary, to go away from the truth. It's clear, Ji. And therefore here Brahma Pratyaya Dharinaha Karma Sarvastiti. And now we are going to see a new point. That means Vedanta cannot be interpreted as either as a Kamya Karma or even mere Nitya Karma. Because Kamya Karma, Vedanta is only showing this is what you are. It's a statement of fact. It is not a statement of injunction. Karma Kanda is a statement of injunction. Whereas Vedanta is a statement of fact. You are, I'm concluding it, just don't worry. But please concentrate on this last sentence. When it says, thou art the truth, it is a statement of fact. And then it says, please know it. It is an injunction. It's called prescription. Why should you tell me know it? Because that takes care of your freedom. You cannot be happy without that knowledge. Therefore, it prescribes self-knowledge. It states the nature of self. As the stater of the nature of the self, it is Shabda Pramana. Not as the one who, which says, prescribes that knowledge. Shabda becomes a Pramanam as the one that states the nature, a statement of fact. The Atma is Brahman. That is called a statement of fact. You know it or you don't know it. That is up to you. You know it or you don't know it. आपका मर्जी है. But thou art Brahman. That is called Shabda Pramanam. But it also says out of compassion, please know it for your happiness. That is the only thing that can make you happy. वही एक मोक्ष का साधन है, बाकी नहीं. That is like, then it becomes a mother. When it says thou art Brahma, it is a Pramanam. When it says please know it, then it is playing the role of a mother. That is why we call it as Mother Shruti. Swamiji, is it all emotional? Our mother doesn't have any of those funny emotions. It only states a fact. There also it is stating a fact. Without knowing the truth, you cannot be free. That is also Pramana Bhutam. And it goes on repeating until you understand it. That makes it a mother. Continue it later. Then comes a very beautiful point. What about food and everything, eating food? That's not a kriya. Going for food, cooking food, eating food. Rituals, all right, you have grown out of rituals. You have grown out of nitya karma. You grow out of all kriya. But what about eating? Can you grow out of it? Bhashikara is going to say, for heaven's sake, please don't grow out of it. Otherwise, you will be denying yourself the opportunity to know the truth. But there are a lot of beautiful points in that. We'll see that. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.